Welcome to our explainer. Today, we're diving into a thriller that really gets under your skin because it asks a question a lot of us have probably thought about, especially lately.
Seriously, think about it. If everything we count on, the lights, the internet, the supply chains, if it all started to crumble tomorrow, what would you actually do? This one question, this simple, scary question, is the engine that drives the whole story we're getting into today.
All right, so the book we're talking about is The Doomsday Plan. It's basically one author's attempt to write a massive, globe-trotting thriller that wrestles with all the anxieties of our modern world.
It's a geopolitical eco-thriller by John Francis Kinsella that came out in 2020. And, it's definitely for readers who like those huge, sprawling stories that aren't afraid to ask some really tough questions about where we're all headed.
Okay, so before we can even get to the plan itself, we have to understand the world the book set up. And let me tell you, it's a pretty grim diagnosis of our planet and basically every system that runs it.
This line right here just nails the feeling at the heart of the book. It's not about one single disaster. Nope. It's about that creeping sense that maybe, just maybe, civilization itself is starting to come apart at the seams, that the whole thing is failing.
And the book just hits you with a laundry list of symptoms. We're talking out-of-control population growth, climate change spiraling, huge financial scandals, propaganda everywhere, and the constant destruction of our planet's resources. It paints this picture of a world in total, interconnected chaos.
So, when you're staring down the barrel of a complete systemic collapse, what's the solution? Well, the answer the book's protagonist comes up with is audacious, and honestly, it's pretty chilling. It's this grand plan that the entire novel revolves around.
They call it Salvator Mundi, and this is not just some billionaire's bunker in New Zealand. Oh no, this is a network of secret, high-tech, totally self-sufficient sanctuaries built to reboot civilization. It's a modern-day Noah's Ark, but the guest list is extremely exclusive.
And the blueprint for this plan is cold and methodical. Step 1, become unbelievably rich and powerful. Step 2, use that power to secretly build these super fortified shelters in the middle of nowhere. Step 3, handpick your survivors. Only the best and brightest get a ticket. And Step 4, when the world outside has finished falling apart, you emerge from the ashes and rebuild society exactly how you see fit.
Now, what's so interesting is how the book uses this wild plot to deliver some really stark warnings about the world we live in right now. So let's pull out 5 key messages that are just woven into the fabric of this story. First up, the book goes right after this idea of infinite growth, the bedrock of our whole economic system. The story basically screams that this is a fantasy. It's a flawed, unsustainable engine that's driving us full speed towards a cliff on a planet with limited resources. Second, it hits on this weird paradox of our time. The author even quotes thinkers like Peter Pomerantsev to make the point. We have more information at our fingertips than ever before in history, right? But has it made us wiser? The book argues no. It's actually made us less able to have a real debate, fueling anger and division instead. The third warning is about the very real human cost of our global economy. This quote is brutal. It draws a direct line from the things we consume to the destruction of indigenous cultures, painting them as the first casualties of a system that just devours everything in its path. And fourth, there's this constant, unsettling reminder of how fragile everything is. This line is so stark. It suggests that the world we know, with all its rules and order, is just a thin veneer, and that the slide into brutal, Mad Max-style chaos could happen a lot faster than any of us want to believe.
And finally, number 5. This quote right here gets to the core justification for the whole Doomsday Plan. It's pure cynicism. The main character basically believes that the global elite are only loyal to themselves. So, in a world driven by pure self-interest, creating your own private escape plan is the only rational thing to do.
So, after all that, all the crisis, all the conspiracy, what are we supposed to take away from this? Is this book offering a real solution? Or is it just holding up a really dark mirror to our own fears? Well, on the one hand, the book's biggest strength is its sheer ambition. It really does capture the scale of our modern permacrisis, connecting all these different global issues. But on the other hand, the story can feel sprawling and unfocused, and the solution, well, it's a pretty disturbing elitist fantasy, isn't it? It taps into this very real anxiety that while the rest of us deal with the fallout, the super rich are already planning their escape.
And that, right there, is the most important lesson.
The real value of this book isn't the Doomsday Plan itself, it's the diagnosis. It's a powerful thought experiment, a warning about how all our global systems are connected, and how they might be pushing all of us, together, towards a breaking point.
So, with all that said, let's get to the final verdict. I'll give you our score, and then a couple of other books you might want to pick up if this got you thinking. For its incredible ambition and its chilling relevance, even though the plot gets a bit messy and unwieldy at times, we are giving the Doomsday Plan a solid 7 out of 10.
And if this explainer got your wheels turning, you should definitely check out Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. It has a really similar theme of society's best and brightest retreating to a secret hideout while the world falls apart. Or, if you want something with a bit more action that explores similar ideas about systems failing in a crisis, try Full Force and Effect by Mark Greaney. And that's it for us today. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want us to keep breaking down complex stories and ideas, you know what to do. Follow, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us.